I still don't like curves. They're gorgeous, but they take up way too much time. Hi, and welcome to Quilt Meets World, where we have adventures in piecing and joy. I'm Russ. Come on into my sewing room. So on Monday, I got my plague shot for the year. I was fine until about 3:30 a.m. And I woke up in the middle of the night and I felt like a bus had hit me. That lasted about 2 full days, which was really annoying because I had scheduled my plague shot on a day that I didn't have anything in the evening in case I felt icky. And then it ended up lasting into the events that I was hoping that I wasn't going to um, impact. So yeah, I'll have to remember this for next year that it kind of knocks me out for about 2 days. It was just body achy. I had it 2 years ago. I had it with one of the boosters. It was achy for about a day. I know last year when I got the plague shot and the flu shot at the same time. And that night I had dreams that I was living downstairs from the Jeffersons and we were trying to plan Wheezy a birthday party and there was all kinds of shenanigans like was on the show. So yeah, I don't want to get them together in the future. I just got to remember next time to do it on a time that I don't really care about, which means I'm not doing a plague shot on a Friday or a weekend. I want my whole weekend. This week, we also had the baby shower at work, so I was able to gift the baby quilt that I had made. The mom loved it to pieces. She really loved the radioactive bunnies on the back. And then it was later she saw the dragonflies that were quilted in there when our SVP came in and somebody made a comment about the quilt. And she's like, "Ooh, I want to see Russ's quilt." So yeah, she loved it. She got all kinds of awesome presents, a lot of baby outfits, a lot of other cool things. No other quilts. So yeah, I need to remember to tell the mom that this quilt is not able to be, hand me down to her next child if she chooses to have another. If she chooses to have another, she needs to let me know so that the new baby can have their own quilt because you don't, move the quilt from baby to baby. One of my other friends attempted to think about doing that. And I said, no, 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 you don't because, that quilt belongs to that baby. So yeah, and if the baby wears out the quilt, that means they might get an opportunity for, a toddler quilt or something like that. Because quilts, in my opinion, are meant to be loved. The other thing that really happened is our Star of Bethlehem is out, which is kind of amusing for the season. I call it that. It is our street lamp that is right outside at the bottom of my driveway. Sometime last year, the old sodium whatever the amber light is, it burnt out finally. And the power company came and finally replaced it after about 3 or 4 weeks with the new LEDs, which are really bright. I first had a complaint about it when they replaced the one slightly up the road with an LED because it's so bright. But thanks to technology connections, I learned that the white bulb from the LED is a lot safer for pedestrians and everything else than the amber bulb because the amber bulbs basically have everything almost in black and white. Maybe we'll call it the sepia tones, which means it's more difficult to see what's going on. Whereas, the LEDs, you get to see the full color. So if somebody's wearing, I'm going to say, a green jacket, you'll be able to see a green jacket in the LEDs, blah, blah, blah. Science! I just realized I was rambling. So, but yeah, it was out. It went out probably Thursday, I think it was, because Friday when I went to take Riley to daycare, I was like, why is it so dark? And I texted my across the street neighbor. He said that the power company came and took something about the size of a fist out, and it that he didn't know that it was going to be out, and it apparently is. Riley at daycare, though, she was awesome again this week. She got to play with Lulu, which is exciting. Lulu lives next door. Lulu's parents are the ones that I'm working on the table runner for from Cotton Cuts. They are out of town for whatever reason. And when they go out of town, they board Lulu at the daycare that they go to together. So she was all excited that she got to see Lulu for the day and play because Lulu injured herself a couple months ago. Okay, it's been several months because she's had 2 surgeries. So she's not able to do her running back and forth like they usually do when they play. So yeah, daycare is the best time for them to play. And Lulu's parents don't let her go to daycare enough. I mean, I feel so sorry for that deprived dog. And here, it has been really exciting. On Tuesday and Thursday, I got to sew with my friends Shannon of Slay Art and Stephanie of Quilting with Stephanie Stitches. On Tuesday, it was on my channel, and on Thursday, it was on Stephanie's channel. We finished the mini mystery table runner from Cotton Cuts, and I'm using finish slightly loosely because I finished the top for my neighbor. She wanted the Yuletide colorway, so that was Yuletide cheer. That was really fun to put together. I still have to put my clues together or my puzzle pieces together into the final layout for mine. It went together very quickly. There was a lot of pieces that looked the same, and I get that happens when you have such a small project, but it made it a little bit more difficult at times to try to make sure we got the correct puzzle pieces in the correct location before we sewed it up. We did know that we were doing things right when things nested, and then if something didn't nest as we expected, we had to go there and just do a quick double check to make sure we did something right, or if we kind of goofed. I heard there was a couple of seam rippers out. I haven't gone through mine to figure out what I did. I did have to pick a couple seams with my neighbors, but it was a lot of fun. I am planning on trying to get them on the long arm soon to get quilted because they are, after all, Christmas ones, and 'tis the season. They gave us just barely a couple inches on the sides, not enough really for the long arm frame. So I need to put basically sacrificial border strips on. I've done it before on another project, so I have plenty of scrap fabric for it. I just need to get it put on. And if I'm going to load the long arm, I want to load both of them together just so that I can just do the quick pass on the neighbors and then the quick pass on mine and have them done as quickly as we can, because it's effort to load the long arm. You don't realize as you're doing it how much extra time it is, but as many times as I've loaded my long arm since I've gotten it, it's quite a bit of time. I do not envy anything. If anything, I need to get some of the tools that make it a little bit faster. On Saturday morning, I had 11Zs on my channel. That is my live that I do every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. I was working on the red bulbs for the Fort Worth Fabric Studio sew along. There were 10 of those, and I got all 10 sewed up. They went together very easily. It was the same instructions as the green light bulbs. I know that we have one more week left, and my friend Stephanie of Quilting with Stephanie Stitches, she is doing the sew along tutorial on her site, on her channel. So I recommend checking that out. The last video will be published Monday morning, and then we will get to see how it ends up. I'm excited to see how it's going to end up. I really want to get this quilt done, but I also have a couple other projects that are a little ahead of me in the priority list. This morning, Sunday, my friend Steven of Land Designs and the Idiot Quilter, he hosted a men's pop-up sew day. It's just basically a Zoom get together where we had a handful of just guy sewers out there, just chit chatting, working on projects. It was a little quiet at times. There was some interesting conversations, some great knowledge being shared and stuff. But if I'm sewing with a group of people, it keeps me motivated to stay focused on what I'm working on. So what I was able to work on is I got the rest of the quarter circles done of the Multiverse quilt. So they all, once they're pressed out, they look like this. This needs to be trimmed because you see it's got extra things. The sewing of these was long. I'm not going to put it any other way. It probably took longer because I am putting a lot of care into these blocks. There is a very special project behind this and a recipient, so I want to make this look as awesome as I can. So I know that I took a lot of extra effort to do a lot of pinning. I hate pinning, but I pinned these to heck. There's a little snips that you have to do in there to kind of relax the curves, and like just doing the seam through my machine took over 2 minutes each. So 2 times 40 is, so that's over an hour of just sewing, and we're talking 40 blocks. The pinning, it took several minutes for each one of them. I still got to get them pressed. I got to get them trimmed, but I am loving the way that everything is coming together. The hard part for this quilt is now done. So I'm going to end up getting them trimmed and hopefully have a finished quilt soon. In case you've missed it, I've been putting out a daily video for Vlogmas. Vlogmas is a challenge that YouTube creators sometimes will give themselves to put out a video every day, either for the first 24 days, 25 days of December, sometimes the entire month. It just depends on the energy levels of the creator. In the videos that I am doing, I am opening the Cotton Cuts Roses Holiday Your Way Advent box of cotton fat quarters. I've gotten a couple really awesome fat quarters so far, and I'm excited about opening up the rest of them. Also, during the videos, I am answering a what is my favorite question each day. I'm getting some great questions in the comments, and if you'd like yours answered, feel free to ask away. It doesn't have to be about Christmas specifically. In fact, tomorrow's question is going to be, another food-related one. Also, as part of Vlogmas, my friend Shannon of Slay Arts and we both have goals of getting to 1,000 subscribers. We are cranking away at those numbers thanks to awesome friends sharing our channel out. So if you wouldn't mind subscribing to our channels, it is a free way to help us make our Vlogmas wish come true. And I've also heard there's a giveaway if we reach our goals. So who doesn't really like giveaways? It's goal time. Part of what I'm doing this week is I'm going to be putting out a daily video. So that eats into a little bit of the time that I have available to sew. I know these are part of my self-imposed deadlines and everything, but I also know what I want to get done this week. The first thing that I'm going to do is focus on the Multiverse quilt. Now that the hard parts are done with the curves, I can just do a few minutes to square up all the blocks and I can start piecing things together. I need to do the maths against the pattern to make sure everything is right. I've learned to do that from my friend Steven of the Idiot Quilter episodes, because sometimes the pattern may have something just slightly off, and if I can catch it before I cut, that is so much better. I also need to get some work done on my Saturday sampler block. It is going to be due a week from this Saturday, so I got just under 2 weeks to get it done. If I start working on it next Sunday, I will at that point hopefully know if I need to get any oops fabric or not, and I will be able to focus on it at some point during the whole project. I know I've got the Fort Worth Fabric Studio Lighted Up quilt. That is a maybe as to whether or not I'll be working on it this week. As I said earlier, the final block and setting is coming out tomorrow, and Stephanie's doing that tutorial. But right now, the Multiverse quilt, I think, is a higher priority to get done to get towards the long arm. And then there's also, the whole table runner thing I want to get on the long arm. I mean, I'm sure my neighbor wants her table runner soon. Anyway, that's about all I have for today. Thank you for watching. If you want, please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps the channel to grow. If you ring that little bell icon next to the subscribe button, it will notify you when I go live on Saturday mornings and when I publish new videos throughout the week. I hope you have a great rest of your day and an awesome week. Until next time, stay happy and keep stitching.